I won't go there. I was going to ask you how many of you have offended somebody. Well, you know, I have here a pan. I wasn't supposed to dump that because hypothetically it's got boiling water in it. Hypothetically, it has boiling water. And if I were to take my hand and put it into that boiling water, you know what it would do to me, right? It's probably understood by the majority of us here, kids down. Rachel, what would happen if I were to put my hand in boiling water? Do you know? Would it hurt? It would. Have you ever done it? How do you know? You touched a pan before and it hurts? Otherwise, mommy or daddy said, don't touch that. That's going to be hot. Right? Somewhere else here? Devin, do you know that boiling water is hot? And it would burn you, right? So, if we're looking at this pan of boiling water, we know and understand that that could be the offense. If I stick my hand in there, I'm going to come away pained by it. The thing that I want us to look at this evening, though, is that what do we do with the offense? What do we do with the heat? I have a potato and an egg. Two things, two separate items. And if we put them in that boiling water, and we have a flame to keep it boiling, what happens to the potato? It softens. What happens to the egg? Mason, what happens to an egg when you boil it for a while? It gets hard inside, doesn't it? Ouch, that water is hot. But it should have told me. What happens when the hot water comes to our lives? You see, we have a choice. We have the ability to choose. The potato and the egg, they don't have any choice in the matter. The potato is going to get soft if it's left in that boiling water long enough. What does it take, ladies? 20 minutes? 20 minutes or so, give or take the size of the potato or all that stuff. And that same boiling water that softens that potato to make it good to eat hardens the same exact water, the same exact heat, the same exact offense makes that egg hard. For us, it's not a matter of staying out of the hot water. Jesus tells us, Matthew and Luke both recorded that there's hot water coming. There's an offense coming. It's going to happen somewhere along the line of our lives. Kids, understand it. Somebody is going to fail you. Somebody is going to do something. Adults, we have to understand that somewhere along the... Now, the thing that I do want to mention here is that quite often offenses come from people that don't even realize they're offending us. I know that that's a sidetrack from where I'm actually wanting to stay, but, you know, the point of the subject, the point of the matter tonight is, what do we do with the offense? Do we allow it to make us hard and bitter? Because that's what we bring that together in the spiritual sense. When somebody's hardened, they're bitter. And when somebody is softened, then we normally consider that person who is a soft person a sweet person. I don't think it's too hard for us to understand tonight that all of us want to be that soft, sweet person. None of us want to be a hard, bitter person. You say, you don't know what they've done. You don't know what kind of offense I've had to deal with. You don't know what kind of hurts I've had. You don't know what kind of boiling water I've had. The boiling water is universal. It happens. It happens. And it happens again. You can define it any way you want to, but that boiling water is still boiling water. It's still an offense. What are we going to do with the offense? How are we going to allow that offense to work in our lives? Are we going to allow it to make us soft and sweet, or hard and bitter? I worked in the public sector, and somebody, one of my employees, Larry Dean Poe. Anybody, if you meet Larry Dean Poe, he's a nephew of Brother Poe from Winfield Poe that used to pastor here. He was one of my employees. Larry Dean Poe. He thought I needed this mug one time. It says, "I'm a boss. People think I know what I'm talking about." I didn't drink coffee back then, so it just kind of sat in the cabinet for a long time. But kind of now I use it because I've been drinking a little bit more coffee. And so I have here a cup of coffee. Anybody want to taste? I know my wife doesn't want to taste.
Well, that wasn't nice.
Why did I spill coffee? What? Is that why I spilled coffee? Does everybody agree with him because I have a smart aleck son? She's saying no. Why did I spill coffee? Well, that's the same thing. You just added a little bit to it. That's why I spilled coffee, because I had coffee in my cup. The reason why I didn't spill some tea is because I didn't have tea in my cup. You say, what's the point? You see, you guys were focused on the offense. You were looking at who offended. And that's what I wanted you to do in a sense, in a way. But you see, it's not so much that somebody offended me. It's what happens when I am offended and I spill out. What am I spilling? What am I spilling? Now, in my wife's mind, if I'm talking about coffee, I'm talking about something that is nasty and bitter. So we're talking about an egg. Anybody want to agree with her that it's nasty and bitter? Not too many. Or am I spilling out something that is sweet? You see, it's not in the offense that I'm supposed to be focusing. It's in what is it that when I'm offended spills out. Did you get that? Do we need to go through that again? Jonathan, come up here and spill it again. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. And I asked you the question, why did I spill coffee? Are you looking at the offender? Are you looking at the offense? Whether the offender is a smart aleck son or just a bump from mother-in-law. She's so kind. Am I looking at what it is? Because Jesus tells us that it's inevitable. It's inevitable. You're going to have a smart aleck son bump you from time to time. Or a son-in-law that's bumped you sometime or another. There's going to be something to happen. Somebody's going to say something, somebody's going to do something, or somebody's not going to do something that you think they should do. What are you focused on? The offense or what's spilling out when you are offended? Jesus said it's going to happen. What are we doing about it? And I believe that if we're really, really longing and looking to be like Jesus, that we're going to be able to say with Jesus, Father, forgive them. They don't understand what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. And spill out something sweet and beautiful, even in the midst